buy back another 456 million in tokens. That's roughly 25% of the current fully diluted value being absorbed in a single year at the floor revenue. Floor revenue. How this changes the effective FDV. Right now, 1 trillion total supply, 1.8 fully diluted value, but 105 billion tokens are already bought back and locked. If you back those out, the effective circulating FDV is closer to 1.5 to 1.6. In 12 months at current pace, another 200 billion tokens get pulled. You're looking at an effective float that keeps shrinking while the revenue floor holds. The revenue buyback ratio is the key number. Buybacks have tracked 99.5 to 100.5 of the daily revenue. It's nearly 1-to-1. Every dollar the platform earns goes right into token absorption. No other protocol in crypto runs this aggressively. The comparison that matters. Hyperliquid does the same thing, 97 to 99% of revenue to buybacks. But at 36.5 fully diluted on the 696 annualized revenue, Pump Fund does it at 1.8 FDV on 468 annualized. Hyperliquid's buyback yield is 1.9% of FDV, while Pump Fund's is 25%. Now do one last short, concise comparison, Hyperliquid versus Pump Fund. And based off of what we've looked into today, what is the winner? Just curious what she thinks. Obviously, I have my bias. Put differently, at current revenue, Pump Fund buys back entirely FDV in 4 years. Hyperliquid takes 52 years. So it would take Pump Fund 4 years at their current rate to buy back the entire token reserve, 52 years for Hyperliquid. If meme coin activity returns to even half of its peak, Pump Fund compresses that time to under 2 years. The July 2026 risk, a major unlock, is scheduled for July 2026, 1 year post ICO. That's the event to watch. Between now and then, buybacks will have absorbed another 450 million in tokens, which creates a cushion, but the unlock will test whether the buyback wall can absorb new supply hitting the market. Bottom line, at bear market revenue levels, the protocol is eating its own float at a rate almost no one in crypto can match. If revenue even stabilizes here, the shrinking supply becomes the dominant price driver over time. So a Hyperliquid versus Pump Fund here, head to head. Fully diluted value, 36 billion versus 1.8 billion. Year one revenue, 844 versus 321. Year two, 664. They're both declining, so this isn't a fair. But current annualized revenue, this is more like it. So current annualized revenue is taking last month's revenue and multiplying it by 12. Hype, 700 million. Pump Fund, 470. I think this is the last point I need to make here is what market do people have a higher chance of winning in? You know, us quants can get off with trading bots on Hyperliquid, but I'm speaking hand traders. I would argue there's exponentially
it's
more
what's called
millionaires
machine learning.
made off of Pump Fund
So you find
than Hyperliquid.
things
You get liquidated
that
on
are
Hyperliquid,
predictive.
you don't
You might guess,
on Solana memes.
such and such should be predictive, might be predictive, and you test it out in the computer, and maybe it is, maybe it isn't. You test it out on long-term historical data and price data and other things, and then you add to the system this if it works, and if it doesn't, you throw it out. So there aren't elaborate equations, at least not for.
So profit, what's P revenue? I don't know, but 4x versus 52x. Buyback 97, 100%. Buyback yield 1.9 versus 25%. Years to buy back the entire FDV. 4 years for Pump, 52 for Hype. Revenue trend down from peak, down 56%, down 80% from peak. So Hype is more stable in the bear market. Circulating supply bought back 645M for Hype, 332M for Pump. No major overhang. SEC cleared meme coins. Lawsuit weakened. So they got a huge lawsuit there. So just be careful with that. Float unlocked. 24% of total supply is unlocked. 43% of supply is unlocked on Pump. So actually more unlocked on pump than hype. The verdict based on today's data, Pump Fund is the better risk reward, not because Hyperliquid is bad. It's a legitimate revenue monster and the best DEX in crypto, obviously. But at 36.5 billion FDV, the market already knows that. You're paying 52x revenue for a business whose fees are down 56% and volumes are down 55%. The buyback program, while massive in dollar terms, barely dents the FDV. You need Hyperliquid to grow into its valuation. Pump Fund is the opposite setup. You're paying 4x revenue at maximum pessimism for a platform that still generates 40 million a month when literally everyone hates meme coins. The buyback machine is consuming the float at 25% of the year. The SEC just removed the primary risk, regulatory risk. The lawsuit lost its teeth. And the entire narrative, meme coins are dead, is the exact kind of consensus that precedes the biggest reversals. But there's a huge caveat here. Meme coins are dead. You know what else is dead? NFTs are dead. And have NFTs come back? No. So as an investor, you must be hyper aware that like sometimes things being called dead, they actually stay dead.